And I have been dressed by Rusty today. It's very exciting to be in Rusty's hand-me-downs. Obviously, I'm not nearly as bulky as he is and feel like a child in his dad's sweatshirt. But the reason I'm dressed like some sort of weird, sexy clown is because today we're painting at the OPL and I'm joined by two of my favorite painters. I've got Spawn and I've got Ejim. Gentlemen, how are we?
Yeah, I really would have loved a heads up that I was in the middle of your solo at the start of that. Because you start swinging and I'm like, my elbow's just awkwardly in. But I'm honestly, do you want the honest answer?
Please.
Terrible. I feel like I'm about to die.
Yeah, you're not doing too crash hot. You're very sick. So if you do fall over, if you do pass out, Bryce, we have to finish his painting.
Oh, I was ready to. I got him. I got to save my painting, of course. If he's going to pass out this way, I'll protect that, and then Jake's a little bit of an afterthought.
But before we start painting, we of course do have League of Legends to get to for the whole evening. Let's take a look at the schedule of what's going to be played in between the painting sessions. First up, we have Chiefs versus Mammoth. I mean, come on. That's
Banger.
Huge one.
Absolute banger. Jake touched me in the leg, and I had no idea what was going on.
The soundboard really has gone downhill in the last 2 weeks.
It's very frustrating. It's just like he has one job and he can't even pull it off when you poke him. Bombers versus Order, game 2. Order looking for some revenge from the end of last split, potentially.
I mean, we've already beaten them once this split, but, you know.
Well, you know.
We haven't beaten many other people.
Hey, we've beaten one other person.
They got a win yesterday. Looking on the up and up.
Gravitas versus Avant, game number 3. And then Legacy versus Direwolves, rounding out the evening. Speaking of rounding things out, the end of the split will, of course, be held at the Melbourne Esports Arena. At the Melbourne Esports
Are we painting there live?
God, I hope so.
We should.
We're painting there live. That's what we're doing.
There you go. So please, if you want to come along and watch us paint, get your tickets at melbourneesportsopen.com.au/tickets. It is on Saturday, the 31st of August. It is going to be a hell of an event. It's just such a good time. And a live event, always fun, particularly when it's mainly focused on painting now.
And Bryce, my voice is sore, so tell them all the good things about Melbourne.
I actually don't know any good things about Melbourne, so that's a bit of a bad luck. Look, it's okay. I like the weather. Really like the weather. Sydney, way too hot. Melbourne, very cold. Big fan of winter. Winter in Sydney, it's
Not
a
winter.
joke. It's a joke. A low of 16 degrees. What is that? Nobody wants that.
Just because he asked you to do something doesn't mean you have to do it.
Yeah,
No, that's actually not true.
Yeah, no, that's the one thing they have. Everything else that he talks about is a little bit like self-congratulatory. But
it's cold. And they've got bad roads. That's basically all I know about Melbourne.
Better roads in Sydney.
For you guys, we are also running a competition. Riot is running a art competition. You can get in on the art as we are today. This is a 2-wave competition, whatever that means. The first wave, you need to create a pixel artwork recognizably depicting at least one league champion in an existing or imagined arcade skin. And then the second wave, you make a comic book cover, including a title, and that's to be themed around an existing League of Legends champion or an imagined Demacia Vice skin. So head to the OPL League website for more details on that.
keyword recognizable. I like how they just kind of cheekily slipped that one in there, so
yeah,
you better be good.
You better be good. You know what isn't going to be good? This. Because we have upped our painting game today. We're doing 3.
Should we go through who we're painting?
Please.
'Cause I feel like you've changed.
I have changed, yes. So it was originally going to be Raz.
Friend
I
of the
believe.
show.
Yeah. And then after much consideration, we decided that we needed, Raz, too close to the family. We needed to, the obvious choice, I guess is what I'm trying to say. We wanted to extend beyond the bounds of people who have basically been in this room before. And we wanted to head overseas even further. So I'm going to be painting Ovally.
Okay.
And he's not getting much right now in terms of victories, so maybe this
That's
can
not
be
true.
the
They won a
start.
couple this morning.
Yeah, but
I don't know if the camera can see it. It's already ripped. That was a terrible noise. Here is my reference painting. It's her Twitter profile picture. It's already just like meme lord
A huge
central.
meme.
So I would love, as you suggested yesterday, that my painting ultimately replaces her Twitter profile for at least 24 hours.
Yeah, come on. A day isn't much. A day is not much.
I'm asking for one day, one pathetic day. Give me this.
I think
Big
I asked
thing.
for a week on mine. 'Cause I'm
you
going
going?
with, this is really hard. I'm going with Atlas. Can the camera get that? Yep. Isn't he he's aesthetically pleasing. And he's not going to be afterwards.
Yeah, it's an interesting way to say he's very attractive, but he is. I love the color choice as well.
I'm also very nervous about the ripples on the shirt.
Ripples on the shirt are going to be hard. And also, like, if you look closely, the sort of teal is reflecting onto his skin color. So you're going to have to blend.
Nah, that's not what's happening.
Your sick eyes can't see clearly.
You're worried about your shirt. I'm doing Frost. I say me and Rusty are splitting Frost urine as we're swapping in the desk middle of the day. And I don't know, you can see all of the detail in her jacket. There has never been more detail in a Twitter like DP ever. She's even like got bedazzled eyes. She's got like glitter.
Yeah.
You need to make like a stamp
to repeat.
Like repeat it because it's the same flower.
Yeah.
We have many tools. I reckon I can makeshift a stamp. That's stampable.
That's
a little.
That's
I can
a great
just a little
idea.
Little dab it on.
You're
we're doing Frost urine.
You're already a painting pro. Now, we do need to get to the games, but we should just very quickly start because we really don't have a lot of time.
I don't do anything quick when I'm painting, Nick.
That's true.
I am a slow and steady wins the race. I'm also very happy that you can't touch my painting this time.
Yes, so the fault will entirely be on you. But tell the people what you were doing right before we started recording.
I was Googling how to prep a canvas, and then I found out you need at least like 8 hours. So that
for the
prep
paint
has
to
gone
dry?
like out the window.
Yeah.
So instead, I have an unprepped canvas.
Is it because it's already painted?
No, it's because it's too dry.
No, he wants to paint
too
it.
dry.
Yes.
So you want to wet it?
Well, that's the thing is you want to wet it. You want to put some base layers on it.
Is that why you were stroking it?
What do you mean?
To feel the dryness?
Yeah, to feel how
because
dry
when I
it
turned
was.
around, you were just like...
Real creepily.
It was
stroking
very
an empty
strange.
canvas.
Okay, let's quickly just put down some base strokes.
I think
and then
these are
we'll throw into
mine.
Champ Select.
Where are
No,
yours?
No,
they're
Oh
Nick's.
wait, okay, yeah,
They're
we're sharing.
mine.
We're sharing.
We're not sharing.
No, this is it.
Go find your own painting.
I need a really straight line because me and Rusty are splitting.
I need teal.
Okay, this is just gonna be
That's my
freehand.
problem. Okay.
I'm just committing. There we go. I don't know if people can see that, but that is relatively straight.
Oh,
There's a
Rusty
little
had
wavy.
a physical reaction to the...
This can be your palette.
Nobody
Relatively
can see
straight.
any-
That's
They're-
all you need in a painting.
Relatively
This
straight.
painting is relatively okay.
Okay, if you can draw like a freehand circle, I will be incredibly impressed.
Oh,
What's
wait.
a circle got to do with a straight line?
What? No, but like just freehand objects. That's
Oh, this is titanium white. I know about this
that's
one.
it.
Skin color.
Okay, how are we gonna do this one? I feel like you need to get as far back as possible to.
Okay,
To make
so
this work.
we're going to get on with this. We unfortunately have to throw to the first game. So let's get into it by heading over to the McDonald's Champ Select.
All right, let's unfortunately get into it. I was ready for that.
I'm already stressed.
Yeah.
the fact that I have to sit here for 2 games while Bryce does exactly half of the painting
Yeah, the
has
thing
made
is
me
they're
so
in
stressed.
they're in our eye line as well. So
Yeah.
we have the game in front of us, and then to our left is whatever's happening over there. So we will do our best, as I'm sure Mammoth and the Chiefs will, as we get into the Macca's Champions Select for Game 1 of Day 2 of Week 4.
Certainly, and this is a very big game for both of these teams. You know, top of the table clash with Chiefs getting the win yesterday, puts them in second place outright for the moment. Mammoth, of course, being in first place after a much better start to the season. So when you look at this matchup now, it is actually a very hyped matchup where it's a super team, or what was meant to be in Split 1, against one of the top performing teams consistently for years.
All right, the Chiefs are going to take away the Gragas and Aatrox as a follow-up. And Mammoth is going to be a Sejuani ban to start us off. And obviously, Sejuani pretty high in the old food chain in the jungle nowadays.
Absolutely. Sejuani, the reason that she is the primary ban, though, usually of choice is because there are so many other options to pick for melee solo laners to go with the Sejuani to make the 2v2 really strong. So get rid of the problem, which is the Sejuani, Aurelia, Camille, still very good champions, but no longer have the strongest 2v2 enabled by that pick. So maybe not as high a priority. And that's where you start to see, you know, the Karmas, the Luxes, the Zyrakans tend to creep up to #1 priority.
All right, second ban will be Aatrox, and finishing with a Sivir ban from the Chiefs. Now, I did bump into Only in the restroom.
Okay.
And that's where all great conversations happen.
Absolutely.
And he was he just dropped as he was leaving. Hope I could get to play some Diddley today. And I felt like he just planted that in my head, very specifically.
Only as a Nidalee player. He always has been, but so's Babbitt. You know, there's actually a couple of players in the OPL that would love to get their hands on some Nidalee. Very rarely seen, but always possible. So I'm not gonna say expect it, Pulse, but don't be surprised if it is actually picked.
Just very pointed, you know.
That's true.
We'll see. Corky final ban from Mammoth and the Chiefs looking towards their first pick. First pick is Zia.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I've seen a lot of Azir when it's been second rotation or in response to a mid laner, but not going to be the case this time. First pick. I can see the apprehension and the...
I have no idea why he's trying to high-five, but I can't see from here. But something's gone very right with Bryce's painting right
something
now.
right or very wrong, I can't tell.
So the Azir first pick pulse for me is very interesting because you have to look at like what actually even exists right now in League of Legends that can deal with the Azir. There has been some, I would say, some OG counters, which is outranging the Azir. I know Xerath, Vel'Koz, the two that come to mind. Like, you could play that style. Very rarely, however, would you see that. The other option is you could be aggressive with like the Zed. You know, go hard, try and kill the Azir, keep him down. Or you just match it. You know, the Corki ban by Mammoth kind of gives what is the matching champion, so to speak, the item-based champion that can skill up, scale super well, teamfight super well instead. So it doesn't look like that's going to be the case from them here, however, Mammoth. Though Triple can play them all, it may just be his Akali.
Yeah, Akali locked in. Olaf as well into the jungle. Not a lot that can really deal with the Olaf nowadays. Kindred, though, picked up very early here in response to that Olaf.
Yeah, they've gone for a crazy comp already here, the Chiefs. I think it's very well defined in the way that they're going to play these team fights. Now, Azir stops people from being in the Kindred ultimate as Kindred keeps everybody alive. You know, Nautilus now going to be the early engage tool locked in here, which is super smart from the Chiefs given their first two picks. So now they've got engage. It can't be banned away by Mammoth. The team composition starting to come around here. Now, I would say that something like the Ezreal is a pretty high priority still remaining champion, but so is the Xayah Rakan. But you don't want to just pick that now if you're Mammoth, because the other would be banned. So they'll go for the solo laners, and we've got both of those locked in for Mammoth. Bot lane, probably the focus.
Yeah, Irelia now locked in as well alongside the Akali. And that was Nautilus as well there from the Chiefs. So we know what the solo laners are. Most likely going to be Irelia top lane, but interchangeable. Can also play into the Azir.
Yeah. The question for me is, like, Mammoth, will they ban 80 carries given that they have the first pick, or will they just, you know, try and focus ban something away from Swiper? Very clearly with that first ban, it will be the Renekton away from Swiper. Chiefs on the other side, I would like to see something like the Morgana taken away, just because they've gone for the Nautilus, and then maybe even the Rakan to set themselves up for a stronger 2v2 regardless. But they may even consider Yuumi, you know, as a potential ban, a potential takeaway, given that they've already got the Nautilus locked in, and Yuumi Ezreal is very annoying. There's the other option.
And Lux as well, just a very strong support and flex at this point in time, so that will just be removed here by the Chiefs. And yeah, it feels like a lot of those picks that you just listed are really, really nice for skirmishes and team fights around the Olaf. You know, you stick Yuumi on top of Olaf or pretty much anything. Black Shield, of course, big deal until he gets his ultimate. Same with Irelia, so a lot of nice support picks open for Mammoth.
Yeah.
Kennen was the final ban out there from themselves.
So now it's a matter of preference for me with Mammoth. This last ban may dictate where they look to go with their bottom lane duo. The Xayah ban, I think, very clearly starts to push them in directions. I would like to see an Ezreal, given that they've already got the Irelia and Akali locked in. I think something that can hold in a 1-3-1 type of format would be nice for them to have. But also, I guess this champion is also up and available. Doesn't necessarily provide wave clear or anything super reliable like that in the 1-3-1, but it's so hard to kill, especially with an Olaf being able to sprint now as an advantage from the move speed that Sona gives. So not a horrible choice, and I think from there, they may once again go back to the Tahm Kench or the Galio. Galio being able to provide perhaps the wave clear that they need.
I mean, it's definitely synergistic, right? And you're right, Galio could be a nice champion to top off that composition. Now, the Chiefs, seeing that, have the opportunity of Ezreal themselves. And there's still a lot of good supports open. Yuumi springs to mind as well if they want it here.
Yeah, and they could very easily go for that. But it's Nautilus most likely support here for Chiefs.
That checks out.
Which
means it's probably going to be a top laner. You know me, I look at Nautilus and I'm just like, top laner. You know, I don't look at that like a support.
I mean, we also come from the LPL where you look at Nautilus and you're like,
mid-laner?
every lane.
Yeah.
Joinby's playing mid laner.
Yeah, so it will just be Nart in the end here for the Chiefs, going up into the top lane. And there it is, Tahm Kench, actually, from Mammoth.
Yeah, not the Galio this time around. Tahm Kench a little bit stronger through the laning phase, I would say. Just a bit more overall control. Makes it harder for a Nautilus to truly function as well until level 6. But when you look at the Chiefs and how they are built around the level 6 point into something like a Sona Tahm Kench, they can really deal with both quite easily. You've got the Azir ultimate, you've got the Gnar scoop as well, so like they've got some pretty good tools there. And I would say in the Chiefs, overall, I love their composition. It's very standard, it's very Chiefs, it's front to back in their style. They can 1-4 if they would like, depending on how big Swiper is. whereas their opponents in Mammoth, much more of a 1-3-1 type of game. But it's the kind of 1-3-1 that I would say is a little bit harder to execute because it's about getting the roams off from mid to side lanes and being able to pressure and prioritize those areas. And when these types of styles clash, I'm very curious to see how they'll go.
Yeah. And of course, these two teams performing very well right now. Mammoth only with a single loss to their name. Yesterday it was a little bit dicey, shall we say, and they did manage to come back in the end, though. I realize that's a reoccurring storyline with a lot of Mammoth's games in general, but it does show the tenacity that the team has and their ability to make comeback wins. Chiefs, on the other hand, sitting only on 2 losses, so big deal for both these two teams coming in here.
Absolutely. And I mean, even as a style clash, as these teams start to get onto the rift, you would expect slow starts from Mammoth, as they seem to have had a lot of this split so far. The Chiefs, the type of team that if they're controlling the pace of the game, tend to look their best as well. So when you look at the style clash in terms of game pace, I think that's a big thing you'll start to look towards.
Yeah, and as we get into game, we have another coach with us, and it is Vault again. How are you doing?
Good, thank you.
Now, before we get into League of Legends, I want to hear your expectations on how you think the paintings behind us are going to go today. We are painting league personalities from around the world, and everyone's picked different persons. So how do you think that one's going to go?
Well, given how well the Nico painting went last split, sorry, I think it'll be pretty good result, to be honest.
Pretty good result. God, I hope so. So let's take a second to look at this game as well. Now, you've gone for, I would say, a pretty standard type of composition in the end, but a lot of early priority on the Azir and the Kindred. Is this something that was planned in a Mammoth, or just you guys now as the Chiefs believe that they're very priority picks?
Well, we kind of guessed all of their bans and picks for the first, 5 or so at least, first 3 bans into 2 picks, so this was absolutely planned in advance. Mammoth are a big Azir team. They like to scale. They tend to lose early game. So we've sort of denied them the opportunity to late game scale. They do have the Sonar, but it's Azir, Ezreal, Kindred will always be able to scale in teamfight no matter what.
Is Mammoth for you a team that you look at this and this is a win? Because we've seen Mammoth, and yes, they've only taken 1 loss right now, but most of their games have been back and forth. Like the game yesterday almost shouldn't have been a Mammoth win in the first place.
They're definitely not an easy beat. We lost to them in the first week. We're absolutely treating them as the best team right now, by far and away. So there's no we're definitely. I wouldn't say we're definitely winning or definitely losing. It depends how we play.
And what about for you guys as Chiefs? Consistency hasn't been the biggest thing you guys have had this split in particular, but you haven't changed in rosters or anything. So what is it that's going on in the Chiefs camp that's helped you guys to try and perhaps find that consistency again?
Well, after the order game, I think everyone was a little bit rattled. Sorry, order final last split. Everyone was a little bit rattled about how that result went because that was so unexpected for us. So it took us a few weeks of playing OPL again and being back on stage and being comfortable to sort of get back into our groove, I think.
So just playing out.
Yeah, exactly. And scrims, we've changed a little bit about our scrim structure this split. I can't really go into too much, but it's that's also helped us, I think.
Yeah, totally fair. Well, thank you very much for joining us, and best of luck on the game.
Thank you very much.
Also, one of the weirdest things, of course, being a coach for AV, sitting here, if someone mentions scrims, a part of you is like, we can't speak about this, but we'll have a silent nod.
You just make eye contact.
In certain ways here and there. Because no one can really speak about practice. One of the weird things about esports, I think just esports in general, but maybe just League of Legends in that regard, is practice is against other teams, because that's the best form of practice you'll get. So you're constantly trying or revealing strategies against other teams. And there's a lot of strategy then into who do you play against, what does it look like, what do you do against those people, and how do you make it work?
I mean, it's the idea of mini messes, right? You see this all the time in international tournaments where you'll see one side of the bracket scrimming, and you're just they have these 2 completely different ideas of how the game is meant to be played. And yeah, you really see it within regions as well. I think that's something that a lot of international viewers will take a look at.
Regional metas can be shrunk down to even the smallest team matchups in any region.
Yeah. Briefly saw top lane there. A whole lot going on. Only making his way into the enemy jungle though. Deep ward comes through. Looking towards the top side. The Bip just clearing up this crap.
Yep. Opposing sides of the jungles as we start this one. You can see the Chiefs are actually moving towards bot side river. Ayla has got his eyes on it, but they're not going to be there in time. However, what they are doing is getting information. If they see Babip at all, if they see the Scuttle Crab dead, they know exactly where he is. And so they should be able to make the appropriate moves in response. As Claire's going to get chunked.
They're very aware of what's going on. We'll have to flash as the Reckless Wing comes down. That will send them back to base. Has the teleport though. Swiper, full rage.
Nice
Of course, not
dodge.
level 6 just yet, though. But Fudge moving through them, through the minions to the tower. Flash forward into the wallop. Swiper underneath the tower. Only tagging with the auto attacks. It won't be enough damage.
Yeah, it was actually a flash used by Swiper for nothing of Fudge, able to dash through minions, where in the mid lane, Claire, and we just spoke about this, they saw that the Scuttle Crab was taken by the Olaf, and he steps up and just gets completely ruined through the lack of vision he had as the direction Olaf came. And suddenly he's using summoner spells in there as well. Well executed by Mammoth, but that feels a little bit reckless from Claire in the mid lane.
Yeah, sure. Double Dorans now, though, coming back into lane. Top lane also got the chance to pick up a couple items in the form of the long swords. 4 things actually on the blue side on all of the camps. Then towards the bottom lane, 2 versus 2. Got the Tam Kench and Sona lane.
Sona just banking 90 Gs as well, I believe, from a Klepto, just as we zoom down to that lane. Perfect situation for her, you would expect.
Yeah, feeling good. And Nah now pushed underneath his tower. But Bip actually looking towards this mid lane here with Claire. No flash, remember.
It's about an axe needs to hit here if they have any chance of getting the kills. I wouldn't expect they'd be able to. Last time, remember when the gank was successful, triple blocked the dash to safety by Claire. And being able to close that distance, not easy yet. If I was Mammoth, I'd be waiting for the 6 mark to tick over for the Akali, have the stun, and physically block the disengage then. So maybe just a bit more power farming from the Olaf would be ideal. So to me indicates that hover was more of a protect the Akali type of move.
Back towards top lane. Now, this is a funny matchup. It used to be before rework with Irelia into Nard that you would just go Q level 1, though we have a matchup in the bottom side, Ignite onto Babib. But Destiny's here. Whoa! Flash over the wall. That was so much damage. Big crit for 160 damage coming through from Only. And we'll finish him off. That being said, King rotating from the bottom side, trying to get toward stunned on the blast cone. Chopper over the wall as well. And King will secure that counter kill.
And it looked like King wanted to give the kill to Triple in the mid lane as well, but he wasn't able to get there. Of course, the path changing from Only to go upwards. And so Sona just takes that one. No complaints from Mammoth, you would have to expect. Top lane, we've also seen some action, so we'll get the replay of that here. And from the looks of it, not a very good day to be Swiper, having that flash used earlier. And Fudge able to save his own means a solo kill for the top lane.
Yeah, I mean, I actually still definitely value Irelia into the Gnar matchup, even now, you know, post rework. The fact that you can get on top of Gnar and he just simply can't get away.
There was
a big deal.
Yeah, so one of the things about the Irelia Gnar matchup that originally made it such a hard counter is you could instantly stun him off a minion. So you just dash to a ranged minion, lock him down, and in mini form he's so fragile, right? So can't kite, you can't get the 3-hit passive. With the new Irelia, it's not as straightforward as press E and instantly stun someone for 2 seconds.
Yep.
But the stun still exists and it can still be ranged. The harder part to get the kill is now reliant on your passive being hit up to 4 times. So now gets more opportunity to kind of see that coming and disengage. But the kill threat's still very high if everything goes to plan as Claire's hunting.
Destiny, oh, the 2-for-1 special, but Bip should be able to get out of this one, but Triple into the pit, right on top of Only, no ultimate just yet as Destiny's there to back him up. King also coming down with Babib and Raze, kind of turning this one around though. Ayla gonna be popping the thick skin. Claire backing out of the pit, and this is a bit of a mess right here. A lot of low health targets, Triple low, bopped there by Ayla. That will be a kill in the end for the Olaf as he backs away to the lane.
And amazingly, it feels like it's just a 2-for-1 trade in the end. Swiper being there, Fudge not actually making a significant amount of difference, forcing Mammoth to want to disengage. The rewards in top lane are very large, however. You can see more plating to fall, and all of this plating has been solo gold for Fudge, so he is very strong. And look at the gold difference in top lane. That's pretty ridiculous. It's basically the Phage of the Aurelia's Trinity Force in the lead, even perhaps Ninja Tabi, and that makes Gnar's life impossible now. But the Chiefs are getting some extra kills down there. They're getting some extra gold, feeling a little bit better about themselves. And, you know, as the Chiefs roster ever raises ahead, you still think you can win the game. That's how good of an AD carry he is right now. Definitely the best in the league at the current moment. And now he's able to reap some rewards here. As we'll see the fight again. And tragically, of course, the timing of the spit from Destiny gets Olaf over the Azir wall. And Triple comes in to secure a kill. Rest assured he is in Shroud for a little bit of that, so just the visual button as we're back.
Yeah, a bit of a kerfuffle in the jungle. Ultimate's being used here by Olaf, as Only is hunting him down. Fudge Look towards Swiper, but he's about to transform, so a little bit harder to just simply jump on top of the Nara in this situation. And only will manage to secure the red buff here.
Now, Swiper actually standing between Fudge and the red buff, so exactly where he needs to be positionally. However, Nautilus was also on the top side of the map. So again, numbers advantage for the Chiefs. They're able to translate what happens on the bot side of the map to the top side of the map via their support, rushing those boots of mobility as well. And I think that's brilliant play from Ayla in particular. And the Chiefs recognizing that they are playing the numbers game and getting small advantages. It's not the game-winning move, but it's a baby step towards it, and that's exactly what they need.
Yeah, I actually look at this game and it's almost like the anti-blueprint for Legacy right now, you know? It's just like top lane kind of in a bad situation, but still able to utilize the champion in situations where it can help the team. And then everybody else is looking towards bottom side to try and accrue advantages, right?
Yeah, I think that's a good way to look at it. Swiper is a storied player, you know, he's many
yeah.
years in the Oceanic Pro League, and if there's one thing he's always been known as, it's the rock in the top lane, the armored titan, whatever he wants to call himself. I think he actually self-nicknamed himself Big Swiss.
It's a good nickname.
It is, and it also, you know, the point that I bring from this is that he's very good at playing tanks, very good at just losing lane, but winning his team the game.
Yeah.
He's got very good teleports. He knows exactly when to group with the team and force fights. Because that was a very tiresome battle with a bunch of chickens.
Yeah, it was a little bit sad to watch. Bottom lane though. Yeah, recall just coming out from the Kindred.
How far is Ayla off 6 is the question.
I would assume close.
1 minion. This cannon is 6.
There it is, and immediately popping the depth charge, only walking towards this play.
Oh,
wow,
nice
lands
hook.
the hook, literally onto the right leg of Destiny, trying to make it back to the tower. Crescendo used. Little coming out from Raze, but it won't secure the kill. Teleport defensively used in the bottom lane, but Fudge is moving forwards, uses the Vanguard's Edge, misses the duet, and only throws down the ultimate for the defense. Yet another teleport, this time from the Chiefs. Swiper almost at the transform, but not quite there. So the Chiefs will back this one away. In fact, the whole gang's here. Claire came down from the mid lane.
There was a lot of fighting going on in that bottom lane. The whole party arrives except for Babip, and triple from Mammoth are able to steal their nerves, go towards the Rift Herald, take it down, and just pushing in the mid lane to protect him is triple. End result is very favorable, you would have to say, from the side of Mammoth, getting the objective, where so much overall was used.
Yeah, I feel like someone should have died there.
There was a...
To be honest, the initial target was Tam Kench.
Yeah.
So you've got to kill 2 people, essentially.
I mean, you could see what Chiefs were thinking as well. You know, it was a planned set play, hit level 6, instantly Nautilus ult. It was well timed from them, but unfortunately for them, Mammoth were playing safer.
Yep.
So clearly, of course, recognizing the experience levels and saying, even if the Kindred isn't here, there's no point in us stepping up and popping a hook from the Nautilus anyway.
Yeah.
So they play safe as here comes the Herald and perhaps the turret with it, as it's only 2 plates left.
And this is what Mammoth got, right? Because that play happened on the bottom side, and it was such a big commitment that Babip was able to take the Herald, and is able to take the first tower of the game, actually. 610 gold from that play right over to Fudge, and he was already ahead. You can see he's on
that's
triple
Trinity
components.
Force.
That's Trinity Force, and then some. And he's got an extra 1,000 gold to spend on top of a Trinity Force.
2,100 gold ahead of his opponent in Swiper. And I mean, at a certain point, we can praise Swiper for being very good in losing games or in weak side matchups where he gets no focus. But at the same coin, at a certain point, we have to look at Fudge and say he is the carry player in top lane, the young upstart coming into Mammoth that has made a world of difference for them. Now he's 2,000 gold ahead. And one of the champions that he should be very good at.
Yeah, you can see, Triforce, double long swords, boots, in a really nice position as an Aurelia.
3 whole biscuits.
Yeah,
Cashing in the biscuits. Now, I don't want to say that could be a control ward, but the coach in me is ready to say that should be a control ward.
And the top laner in me is saying that...
Cookies.
Cookies, hold on to them as long as I can. It's value from me and me alone. Dragon will go down to Mammoth, so that's a bit of consolation prize. Would have liked it maybe a little bit earlier on that Ocean Dragon, but still we'll take it. Definitely not the worst thing to have. Gunblade also finished for Akali.
Yeah, and that's the name of the game now. It's item spikes. What have we got for all of the members right now of both respective teams? And when you actually take a second and look at the difference, Mammoth are item spiking. They've got the Gunblade like you highlight, complete jungle item for Olaf, Trinity Force done for top lane. Sona doesn't matter too much. Stacking up the tier and working towards items is a scaling affair for every Sona. But really, I'd say they're good to go. Maybe not full team fight levels. I don't think that's necessary against the Chiefs' composition, but they could start establishing some 1-4, some 1-3-1 setups and maybe poking their way around, looking for something a little bit more aggressively once vision lines are set. Chiefs defensive for a little while longer.
Yep, second mark there for only. About 40 minutes into the game. And starting to complete some items on their side as well. Pretty much everybody has gone for boots and like small components alongside their main item build, so it's going to be slightly delayed on a lot of those big first item bumps. That being said, the first major objective to come up is going to be in 4 minutes in the form of Mountain Dragon, so we may not even see a skirmish until Chiefs are hitting their first spikes.
You know what one thing Mammoth does have is a lot of teleports. You take stock of them, there's Triple, there's King, and there is Fudge, but there's also Destiny with the Unsealed Spellbook.
Yep.
So really, just keep your eyes on the Olaf. Wherever that Olaf decides to go next is probably where the play is going to happen. It could be to any of the lanes, as the rest of them will be able to switch to teleport at a certain point. Destiny is the one I'm speaking about when I say at a certain point.
I mean, he's also got the Abyssal Voyage as well as like a semi-global.
Oh, not at level 6 though. With the nerf to the range of it, you need 11.
Oh, Triple getting caught out, knocked out of Only's ultimate. And we'll go down. Nice catch there.
Very nice catch. He just got his boots. I was worried that if he went to a side lane, he'd be too slow to escape anything without the ultimate used, but they catch him even in transition. Well done from the Chiefs there, finding their pick, and it's actually the vision that enables them to do so. Just look to the bottom side of mid-turret, and you'll see wards littered in the area to enable that.
Mammoth now looking for a contest over this blue buff, Ayla. And Scry has bloomed this one out. Spipey's very close to the Fury. Toss out the anchor. Double stun comes through. In comes Ola. Vanguard's edge as well. And so Ayla's going to get slowed down. Flashes. But he's already slowed down. Bit of a waste of teleport in my opinion. But will go down. And that's a kill to Mammoth with top lane potential setup with a minion wave coming in.
And they're the one minion currently, but they will look towards the next wave like you highlight for sure. So they'll continue to push in here. Now teleport hasn't been used by Raze. He's not even close to considering this right now. They're just willing to forego this turret completely. Swiper playing at a safe distance while they push bot and they defended mid. Azir is finally here, but all too late to try and save the objective.
Yeah, really nice play coming out of Mammoth, to be honest. Everybody just converging at the right time, and that was, I believe, 2 teleports used, so pretty much what you were talking about. It was a couple of members already in place for that set play.
And this is the part where the counterplay can happen. You know, we highlight Mammoth, they've got some moments to make something happen with the teleports they've got, with the item spikes they've got. Well, now, in contrast, the teleports aren't available, and the item spikes are there for their opponents. You know, why would Raze stay bottom all of that time when they're pushing a top lane inner? Well, if he's got Trinity Force and Manamune from that, probably worth it in his mind. And maybe it's worth it for the Chiefs. Once again, the carry player of the team gets his item spikes, and so they'll continue to hunt again. And I'd say the ball is a little bit more in the Chiefs' court right now.
Just kind of hunting at the moment. Playing around vision. And going back to farming. It's basically be the game state, you know? It's everyone goes to their lanes, everyone sits in their assignments, not even lane swaps for a while, collect farm, wait for about 2.5, 3 minutes, contest an objective, everyone fights, and everyone goes back to laning, and that's basically been the formula of this entire game.
For me, that's Chiefs League of Legends, right? Set up the vision, make picks, but make it around objectives, you know, give a reason for what we're doing. They're usually notoriously good for their ward setups, but their opponents have twice the amount of wards through the bottom lane that they can place, so it's even harder to do. So there may be more moments of lull where the Chiefs try and establish those lines of scrimmage, where they're not actually able to do it as successfully, given all of the tools that Mammoth have. Especially with 4 sweepers.
Oh yeah.
It's just a lot of sweeping, a lot of vision control.
But here we go, the time is about up, which means that we do have dragons spawning very shortly. There does seem like a skirmish on the horizon. I think almost every flash is up right now, so apart from Ayla. Ooh, Triple. Spots himself an AD carry, jumps out of the brush, 5-point strike doesn't connect, and Raze just gets away with it.
Vigilant from Raze. Clearly looking at his own screen, knowing something is up, and all he uses is the E. So now I'd expect the Chiefs, call that Akali has no ultimate. Can they fight, is the question. I think the answer is if the hook hits the right target, always.
Yeah.
If it hits an Olaf, run away.
Yeah, maybe not. When you're going fishing, you particularly want to catch a shark. In the mid lane, jumping forwards. These minions are quite a big deal. Triple getting caught out once again, though. Down to half. Big deal going into a team fight.
Nice Ezreal ultimate.
Shot barrage, yeah, real nice across pretty much everybody on Mammoth here.
Pushes them back as well. You can see they push back to their defensive vision line, which means the Chiefs get access to the river. They're a little bit split right now, but Swiper closer to that Mega Gnar. He's going to hit the dragon to make a proc, and it means the Chiefs are going to hunt. And perhaps they look for the play. Mammoth say no.
Yeah, there's enough threat right here, especially when it's into a choke point against the Zia, into a Mega Gnar. Like, yeah, probably not worth a Mountain Dragon. Let's just go through mid lane, clear out that mini wave, and just go back to our waves and farming. Really not worth the potential risk, because if you lose multiple members there, Baron about to spawn very shortly, that setup you're losing for it, and pretty much all control over the top side of the map. So we'll just back away.
And you know the Chiefs wanted that. You stare them down, you take the risk, and of course the Azir ultimate just going to be used here. Mammoth still pressuring Chiefs, actually. That's a teleport coming in.
Yes, it is.
The fight is on.
Down, and the fight is coming on.
Oh,
Bagon's edge onto 4 right there. Fuzz jumping on towards the second. Ayla tossing out the depth charge. Nice save there by Destiny. Swiper in the bottom side doesn't have Mega Gnar, and Triple is on his case. Meanwhile, only kiting back, and Fudge is right there trying to deal the damage. Flash forward, Crescendo right on the tip. That's going to be the double kill. Claire now uses a jumping pole. That's going to be a third coming in. And 4 kills total to Mammoth.
And Mammoth absolutely wiped them. 4 people dead. Baron is up, and it's a Sona composition. They may just run straight over there. They don't need ultimates, though. It will take a little bit of time to take it down. I don't think Only will be able to step up safely by himself against all of the wards and control available by Mammoth. So that should just be the Baron secured. We'll see how long it takes to do, however, as the Chiefs are going to come over. It is slow.
It is a rather slow Baron clear, unfortunately. That being said, Ayla's on his way, and Only is
3,000
a long way off. So unless Ayla can open up some space for him, it's not going to happen. And now they're kind of too close to the play, and Mammoth are going to start chasing him down. The flash is used, and he is taken out of that Kindred's Lamb's Respite. Raise the Swiper, poking away. Yeah. I saw that minion wave, and I think every Aurelia player looked at him and was like, this could be it. But yeah, instead choose just to go for minions.
And that's a Baron for Mammoth. So suddenly in a fantastic position is our red side team here. And you have to think back to, you know, why is this happening for Mammoth at all? And this is the fight that really breaks it open. They choose to take the fight. It's a teleport in from Fudge, who just hits with the tip of that Aurelia ultimate, locks them all down. Ayla's dead to rights. And they continue to try and poke here a little bit more. Swiper on a flank, cannot 1v1 while he's in mini form, doesn't get the Mega and just dies. And the Chiefs dawdle. You know, they stay in the area for a little bit too long. And the second raise uses that E to dodge the stun forwards. It's just free reign for Mammoth to try and get close to the ace. And that opens up the map for them. And really, the question has to be raised for the Chiefs. What are you doing sieging mid lane in that situation?
Yeah, I mean, it's basically you already had the win. You turfed off Mammoth, but maybe it was just still being hungry for that initial fight. You know, it's just like, oh, they didn't bite. Let's just try a little bit harder to see if the fish will bite. But bite it did, and that's not what they were really looking for. And Mammoth pulled massively ahead from that play. That was 4 kills, a Baron, an extra kill on top of the Baron. And in terms of gold, it's now a 5k lead.
Yeah, massive lead has ballooned out now, and Chiefs, I would say, pretty desperately waiting for that second item for Azir to come on in mid lane. It's a tough life to be Claire now, and Mammoth with the Baron buff very easily could establish back into the 1-3-1 that their composition would be strong at doing. However, like highlighted during draft, they don't just force a 1-3-1 because a Sona Tarmkent Olaf isn't the most reliable 3. They bring a 4th person in as they send 1 to a side lane, and now they'll break mid, probably send Fudge back to the top side once the minions start to push if they like, or they'll keep him mid while the rest of the team pivots to the bot side that is being set up by Triple. So they've got a bunch of options. The hard part comes from establishing the vision between the lanes that they're standing in, where the Chiefs are trying to stand a little bit more defiant in that regard.
Triple just doing an easy job, taking down the outer turret here. So I'm just going to meet him and make it a little bit slower to get towards that inner turret, which will most likely be the next objective to rotate towards, since it is relatively by its lonesome. So doing the legwork first, clearing out the wards in the jungle just so they can make the easy rotation from mid to bottom.
Yeah, they do it at a good time as well, as Azir was actually forced to recall to pick up his second item. So Mammoth time it well. Red buff will go over to Raze though, as he's able to snipe that.
looked like it was a little short. I saw it tick down to 17 HP, but it may have actually been the smite from the bit there.
Yeah, Babu smite a little bit too early.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a hard time to choose. When do I smite? Does
Yeah,
Ezreal
right.
one hit this? Everyone's so used to AP Ezreal's existing as well. This is the full AD currently from Raze.
Yeah, that was a dark time.
Oh,
Ooh,
still
Mammoth.
exists.
Yeah. Not as common though. Mammoth pushing down the mid lane. Gonna be poking away at this tower more than anything. Because it will be the full commitment. And yeah, this minute wave still gets cleared out very quickly from the Chiefs, so it's more likely going to have to just be like a smart rotation from mid to bottom. But I think Chiefs have done enough to ward enough in the shallow part of the jungle to see that rotation before it happens.
And that's it, right? That's the hard part for Mammoth. We highlighted, you know, vision is a big deal. Well, they've got the vision set up pretty well through that side of the jungle. The red side area is just littered with wards, but they didn't have bot wave set up. And they didn't have bot wave set up because Akali was rotating near mid to help deal with what is a team fighting composition of Chiefs to try and break that turret. So constantly pulling them around the map is the goal of Mammoth, to be able to break turrets, prevent a team fight comp from standing in an area, posting up and saying, come at us. Changing where the line of scrimmage takes place is a very good way to deal with it, but it's hard to execute against a team fight comp.
Yeah, and now everybody backs away. We're, you know, kind of back to the game formula of, yeah, back it up, farm up.
That lead in
spend your
top
items.
laners is absurd.
Yeah, it's something. Yeah, that's what 4,000 gold, which is a full Triforce.
Yeah, and pretty much the gold difference is between the support who got to farm in bot lane in the top catch and the Aurelia.
Yeah,
There's
pretty
1,000
much.
in jungle as well, though.
Yeah, I mean, that's, you know, a component which is definitely nothing to sniff at, but you obviously are going to be looking to that massive already in the top lane. Basically just setting up waves. Another minute until Baron, so I really do expect the teams just to kind of chill for a little bit.
Well, that is where all the focus will be. It's the tango around the Baron vision. Blue side quadrant of the Chiefs area of the map is where the vision will be established. If they can control it, Mammoth, and they completely shut Chiefs out, force them to walk towards them, and that's perfect. If the Chiefs can control some semblance of vision, maybe sneak a ward past during the moments that they have, it'd be brilliant.
Yep. Tiny blue will contest. Keeping the waves pushed in, Mammoth, across the board. And yeah, 2.5 items here from a lot of the Mammoth members. In fact, Fudge will be very close to what looks like a GA.
Yeah, it could be the Guardian Angel. It's just got a stray longsword. Not too sure what that is. I don't want to become a coach, but that could be a control ward. For the second time this game.
Alternatively, it could be a little bit more damage.
Seriously, that should be a control ward.
Should be. I'm going to say that Fudge knows exactly how much damage it takes to one-shot a melee minion, and that longsword puts him just over.
If you're correct, he's a genius. So many League players just go off feel.
Yeah.
That they may not know for certain.
There's not a lot of numbers players, yeah.
Most of the numbers players actually end up in staff after they retire.
Right. And maybe that's what it's about. How accurate is your gut feeling? Right now, Chiefs, their gut feeling has shown them. Baron, True-Shot Barrage comes across.
Taylor hunting.
On full committing
Triple on
to
a
this,
big
because Triple
flank.
is,
They want the
going
fight.
all the way around. They're really looking for their stun more than just nuking down the Baron. They're looking for a fight. Only over the wall. This Baron is slowly ticking down. Swiper's stepping forwards. He's taking a lot of damage. Tries to get away to build up that rage, but in goes Fudge. Following down, he's inside the lamp for a spike. Gonna have to wait a couple seconds. Another timeout. Massive ultimate comes out from the Swiper. Goes back into the fight, and that's the turnaround that Chiefs need to wipe out Mammoth. Destiny backing off with King. They've already lost 3. Flashing the wall. Raisin only on the hunt. King by himself underneath this turret. Should be able to dive this one, and only an outer turret at this point in time. Raisin Claire will finish him off. Shut down. 4 kills to Chiefs.
And they force their way in for 4 kills. Baron now present for the Chiefs. This game is completely turned on its head because the team fighting composition of the Chiefs isn't able to get the fight they're after. Mammoth were looking to poke, keep Baron low, maybe force a pick and get away with the Baron buff. But the Sonar ultimate doesn't hit the mark, and the Chiefs, they find their moment of a really clutch ult actually from the Kindred. So you see the Sonar ultimate not hitting Claire. Also using his Emperor's Divide to disengage, But because only keeps Swiper alive, he hits Mega, knocks them all into the wall, and then the flashes forwards. Chiefs, they commit 100% to the kills afterwards, and they're able to find exactly that. Very well played from them. On the re-engage, after Mammoth botched what is the attempt to go forwards.
By all means, Swiper should have died in that initial engage, but yeah, it was really on that Lamb's respite, keeping him alive. And big swing right there from the Chiefs, and here we are. I mean, like, we literally said, what, 2 minutes ago, 5k lead Baron buff in the hands of Mammoth. Now,
1,000
with Baron, yeah, the Chiefs. Complete reversal.
Absolutely. I mean, this is something that has been decided since draft phase. You know, in the interview we had with the coach of the Chiefs, Volt, he said that we've gone priority Ezreal and Kindred because we know what they were doing in draft. We had a plan. We'll have a very strong late game team fight against them. They get their late game team fight even at a deficit, and they're able to find that victory.
Playing the long game, for sure. We're going to be picking up a lot of just kind of standing gold right here on top of that. I'm sure they will be taking the gold lead very shortly. Top tower, top outer is still alive, so should be very easy to pick that up. But if you can break an inhibitor turret here, that would be huge for them. That would be massive lasting damage towards the team of Mammoth.
Super hard to do if Mammoth is standing in front of the tower, but they've got the Ezreal. They're able to auto-attack it once or twice per wave, and then the cannons will do the rest. The threat is very high. Unfortunately for Claire, while he's chunked, there's not a lot of healing. So they'll play a little bit more tentatively now, but still threatening.
Claire still stepping up, hitting W. Big chunks on the tower.
If Claire can just kill the minions and stand behind his own wave, Raze can be the person who hits the objectives. As you're seeing now. And pushing mid lane at the same time. Mammoth starting to feel a little bit desperate, you would have to expect. Want to find someone that they can pick off or engage on. But they just can't find purchase.
And it's hard because Claire steps forwards, yes, no flash, but he has Emperor's Divide, and that's enough to deal with these one-dash champions like Fudge, who will jump in and be like, well, I no longer have Blade Surge, and it's me having to be in melee range now, so a bit awkward, and that's dual inhibitors, basically best case scenario for Chiefs in that push.
You know, we're probably going to get ourselves into a situation similar to yesterday when Mammoth were playing against the Direwolves. Big lead, Chiefs close now to hitting that Nexus. It's all getting possible. Top lane out of turret's going to be some free real estate as well for them to take down. They're in a comfy spot now, relatively speaking, of course, the Chiefs, with the map control. Obviously, the gold difference isn't so significant. But the difference between yesterday and today is the Chiefs are a well-oiled machine. You know, they're not a new roster. They've won games like this before where they get a semblance of control and a team fighting composition. You give them those tools, they don't lose. Can Mammoth keep up again against the Chiefs, not the Direwolves this time, when the ball game has shifted a little bit? They did it yesterday.
What? Mammoth looking for something in the top lane. Oh,
he did it.
Wait, no, he did it. Throws out the Emperor's Divide. Double crescendo
Good
is
ult.
good though, and in comes Olaf. Good sweep up there as the Aurelia
Swiper's
comes
mega.
in, but now triple is low. Swiper turning it around, looking for this Naros, but if he doesn't need it, the team is there with the damage. 3 kills for 1 right there from the Chiefs.
And the difference has been made, Pulse. You see the teleport straight into the middle lane. Swiper hits Mega, helps win the team fight, teleports to end the game. And Chiefs are just trying to keep the rest of Mammoth busy. It looks like it might just be 1 turret and a disengage, but the rest of the Chiefs are coming swiftly behind them. 15 seconds on King.
Yeah, I don't
Can they
know.
do it?
I mean, there's an extra minion wave coming in, and all 4 members are here from Chiefs. And it's 2 melee champions trying to clear the minion wave.
They may well have it.
Basically on Fudge right now, but he gets dragged in. Great Q coming out there from Ayla, locking him down. Guardian Angel's here, but it's a focus onto the Nexus as everybody is now respawning from Mammoth. Fudge going wild in the backlines. Ayla only and Swiper onto the Nexus. Destiny coming out here. Gobbles 1. Triple coming out there, but the Nexus will go down. Chiefs with a win.
And we have our answer, the difference between yesterday and today. Chiefs do what Direwolves could not, and they're able to continue their momentum to a victory. Mammoth went for the teleport play, again, similar to what we've seen from them, but they don't find the victory they're after. Azir, I actually think his turret got a couple of kills there on the backside, so good showing out of the Chiefs from a deficit, more importantly than anything else, to come back and get that victory.
And there's a pretty fast victory as well. That was basically in the span of a Baron, where they, got the fight.
2 inhibitors.
Yeah, 2 inhibitors, fighting the top lane, finished the game. And that was basically it. Yeah, really good win out there from Chiefs. And I believe that evens them up now with Mammoth, right?
That would put them, both teams now at 6 and 2.
Yes.
And with AV to play later today, there could be a 3-way tie for
Yeah,
first place if
could
AV
be.
get that victory.
Yeah.
So maybe the league's shaken up to exactly where you want it to be 4 weeks in.
Exactly, yeah. Real big... I'm not even going to say an upset win, really, to be honest. Just a good win in general from the Chiefs. But it was just very back and forth. I mean, like, this game literally could have gone either way, to be honest. Many points in this game.
I mean, it was first versus second, so an upset victory isn't something that's really on the cards. You could speak more towards about like how the game was played. A 5,000 gold leader, Baron, threatening really well Mammoth towards pushing into the Chiefs' base, but never being able to break that base is a big factor, right? They weren't able to snowball in a 1-3-1 type style. They were playing the 1-4 pretty well, pivoting between both of the respective solo laners as they were pushing waves, but all it took for the Chiefs was hold on, lose the minimum, and then look towards the next Baron objective once they've got item spikes, and they're able to do that. They weathered the storm pretty well. I would say surprisingly well, given how good Mammoth are when they get those leads, and they hold on.
We'll also say it was down to some pretty clutch moments as well. Like, I think back to the Nara ultimate off the back of the Kindred ult. I mean, that was a huge deal for that team fight. So if that hadn't happened, that would have been potentially disastrous.
But that's something the Chiefs drafted first too. You know, they said we've got Azir, we've got Kindred straight away. We know what we're going to do. We know what Mammoth are going to do. And Volt even very confidently saying we predicted the first 5 steps of their draft before we even saw the draft happening. So clearly good preparation from the Chiefs means a great deal for them. And that gets them over the line in the end of the day to get that victory, but still a little bit shaky at the start.
Yeah, right. It really did feel like preparation. Maybe it took a little while to get going, but once it was enacted, once they managed to bring it into those fights, and as the game went on, it did turn into a big deal. We are going to, however, take a quick break while we set up the painting room, so stay tuned. Down and the fight is coming on. Oh, bang on there, John's at 4 right there. Fuzz jumping on towards the second. Ayla tossing out the depth charge. Nice save there by Destiny. Swiper in the bottom side, doesn't have Meganar, and Triple is on his case. Meanwhile, only carrying you back, and Fudge is right there to try and deal the damage. Flash forward, Crescendo right on the tip. That's going to be the double kill. Claire now uses it, slowly ticking down. Swiper stepping forward, and he's taking a lot of damage. Tries to get away to build up that rage, but in goes Fudge. Following down, he's inside the land for a spike, gonna have to wait for another timeout. Massive ultimate comes out from the Swiper, comes back into the fight, and that's the turnaround that Chiefs need to wipe out Mammoth. Destiny backing off with King. They've already lost 3, flashing the wall. Raisin only on the hunt. King by himself underneath this turret. Should be able to dive this one, and only an outer turret at this point in time. Raising Claire will finish him off. Wave 8 may well have it. Basically on Fudge right now, but he gets dragged in. Great Q coming out there from Ayla, locking him down. Guardian Angel's here, but it's a focus onto the Nexus as everybody is now respawning from Mammoth. Fudge going wild in the backlines. Ayla only and Swiper onto the Nexus. Destiny coming out here. Gobbles 1. Triple coming out there, but the Nexus will go down.
How about 4998?
A little goes a long way at Macca's. Right now, you can pick up our classic large fries for just $1.
Welcome back to the OPL. So I'm making skin color at the moment, which is incredibly difficult. But
as we learned on the Nico painting, I might add.
Oh yeah, that's right. That
she
was
looks
so
like
hard.
a brick.
Yeah, that was a bad time. So we have progressed somewhat. We've all done an outline. Jake's just charging on with the paint. I'll give you a glimpse of where I'm at. Jake's actually done pretty well. Bryce's, though, is definitely my favorite. Which camera? So here's my reference picture of Ollie there. And then here is...
this is too bright.
Is this too bright to see at all? What if I put it really
Angle
close?
it, angle it, angle it.
How is it just reflecting all of the light? I don't understand. Can you see?
committing?
Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay, so it's kind of like...
committing.
I'm going to do... Oh, there. Okay, so at the moment, she definitely looks like a sea witch. But that's because it's kind of like you could just see bald head and maybe 10 hairs. I promise I'm going to put more than 10 hairs up there. Jake, how's Atlas going?
Nick, you can't rush genius. Go away.
You actually... Your stenciling... outlining was very, very good.
Excuse me?
You can't really see it. And you can't really move it. And I've just ruined the camera shot. I'm so sorry, producers. There you go. That's what it looks like so far. I didn't get the right blue, that's for sure, but I think that looks good in any blue, so I'm not really troubled by it.
Yeah, you've kind of gone blue as opposed to like a teal, for sure.
I think this is what he asked for from the tailor, and then he didn't get the right thing.
Yeah, right,
You know?
okay. So you're correcting that mistake.
Yeah, that's
and
smart.
Bryce,
my, where are we? We're over here. My stencil, you can actually see my stencil. My body, like, in terms of, like, clothing, was absolute PogChamp. And then, like, all of this, real good. And then the head just, I'm really sorry, Frosk. I really don't have words for what has happened.
the head went really wide.
I know. Well, I started with the head as the problem, and I was like, okay, because, like, okay, you got to get the eye level right, all this sort of stuff I was panicking about, and then it just turned into a bloody disaster. So, what am I even doing? I'm going to go with red. No, we're going with yellow.
I genuinely feel like the fact that we've split up is going to create better art.
Absolutely,
because I feel in command of what I'm doing right now.
We had
Right now,
differing philosophies,
It does
to
look
say
like
the
an
least.
acorn wearing a balaclava.
What has happened over there?
That's her face. Skin color is very hard to make.
I'm so
just
sorry,
too
Ollie.
dry.
What are we talking about? This is like I think given the time in which I've had to concoct this paint, it's looking pretty good.
At least you guys have a whole day.
Sorry?
I'm feeling the heat.
You only have to do half a painting.
Yeah, but it's got to look pristine.
That's
you don't have
true.
to finish for another 2 segments.
And also, you need to set a tone for Rusty.
I need to wash my brushes.
Now, my problem is how do I incorporate shade into this? Because the left-hand side of her face is kind of in shadow.
I need my... Oh, yeah, I do have to beat the devil out of it.
Yeah. Beat the devil out of it.
I feel like it's going to go all over the OPL set. We have a rag. How do painters wear this stuff? In a pocket? I got a pocket.
Well, most painters don't have microphones attached to them,
Yeah.
for one thing. And
Bryce
they
said he
generally
never
don't
complained.
care if they get paint on them.
Oh, there we go. I need to get rid of all of this. Oh, my hands. I'm going to be casting a game of League of Legends just as a very colourful man.
It's uncanny.
Very colourful man.
Once the glasses are on, it's all going to be fine.
But you've painted the whole face, though. Where,
What
like,
does it matter?
all the features meant to go.
On top of it,
On-
man. Do you
Painting
know
is
how the
about
human
layers.
body works? You are covered in skin, and then
Right.
God put eyeballs on top of you.
Okay.
I can't like fine detail when it comes to like leaving. I left space for the lips because
Right.
I mean
Because that's what confused me.
I don't
'cause
really
clearly,
know why I did that.
Because we all have a hole for our heads, right?
Oh, too dark.
Yes, exactly.
yeah, it's
I
human
guess
anatomy.
my problem is that I need to I now need to let this dry before I can put.
And you paint really thick. I learned that last time when we did the painting as well.
I'm a thick painter that I have learned that, which is probably a big mistake. So I'm gonna steal some of the. Could I steal? I know I can't touch your painting, Jake. But could I touch
If
your?
you come anywhere near my painting.
Could I touch your blue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which blue?
No, I'll
is
just
red.
make my own. No. I don't. You will somehow blame me for ruining it. Because I need to make her April Fool's Team Liquid jersey, which
That is a strength of Jake's.
Hey, Bryce.
What?
Blaming other people. Yep.
I just got sent a tweet from someone that said, "Tell Ejim it's supposed to be Frosker and not Stewie Griffin."
Oh, God.
it does look like Stewie Griffin all grown up.
I need a finer...
That's much closer to the original
Just a
colour.
lot of neck is what
Yeah,
it looks
good
like
call.
for me.
A lot of that.
That's just a
Oh,
lot
my
of
God,
neck.
there is so much neck.
Yeah.
I had no idea. Oh,
Does she have just a normal amount of neck in real life?
Yeah, she's got
Yeah.
a pretty
Yeah.
normal neck.
pretty normie
I
neck.
mean, you've left me a lot of room to draw her neck
I
tat.
was going to say,
We'll go
because that's
with
what
that.
Bryce
Oh,
was
yeah.
talking about.
yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm just doing it for the boys.
There's an artistic foundation for the neck tattoo.
All right, there we go.
So
that's
much
just gonna
neck.
live in there.
I got some blue in the skin color, so hopefully, we've decided that we're happy with this. And upon looking at it again, I'm really not. I definitely made a boo boo with that one, but it's fine. We live and learn, and as a first draft, I think it's going pretty well.
Oh, I realized I've got the same problem as you, Nick, where you want the base layer to
Yep.
build on top of.
Yep.
So I've started with the clothes, but I feel like that may have been.
You started with the clothes.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, they have patterns. Her face is like a skin tone. So it's like flat. I don't have to paint on top of it. But,
Yeah.
like, I feel like it's going to be problematic in the very near future.
I don't know how to do layers. I discovered this last time, and I thought I had a workaround solution, but I definitely don't.
I'm also fairly certain I have seen this rag before, and it comes from the kitchen at Riot Games Oceania, and I'm just, it's just no longer usable.
And given the
Very red.
given how it works here, it's probably going back to the kitchen. Okay, I feel like this blue is close enough. Team Liquid, I understand that you will have some sort of like IP ownership over the blue, but
They're like, I don't know if you saw this. They've partnered with the Avengers, so if you muck up, like, you might get a real.
I might get a Disney letter.
Yeah.
All right, is pink and white skin tone, or is it like red and white, or? I mean,
red! I used a brown base. And
Why,
that was a big
why did
mistake.
you do that?
Because I was thinking like a tan.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, what an idiot.
Okay, can they see that? You know how you get a new sauce bottle and it hasn't been pierced?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, my pink hasn't been pierced.
Hannah, here, I can pierce
Is
it.
the piercer not on the lid of it?
Yeah, you just gotta, you
no.
flip the lid around. Yes.
Oh, God, you guys are so smart. Okay, this is
believe
why
we just
Rusty
call
did
that age.
children's
Yeah.
teaching.
Call
And
that
zippers point down.
every paint ever. Oh.
That worked? Oh, that worked.
This
I'm
is
actually
just the right
with
color blue to begin
I
with.
had
This would've
no
been
idea
much
there's
better.
definitely to be pointed down.
Yeah.
Like, I do think that's intuitive.
Really?
Yeah.
What's that?
No one tells you that
Okay,
zippers
but like
can
if
be
you don't
pointed
point
down.
a zipper down, the flag like looks open and it'd be really dumb looking.
Where's the white?
I love that
It
we're
wouldn't
back
look
to
up
this
because you've
conversation.
zipped it. That's the point.
I mean, we should just leave this at Bryce doesn't know. You should just pretend you were aware.
Now, do you feel like
I got to support my fellow millennial.
brush strokes?
Gotta
If
love
I
having
if
Paul
I
on the
use
show.
like brush strokes for the face and hair, but then I dab with a sponge for the shirt, the conflicting textures will look weird, or will it draw attention away from the skin tone?
Weird in comparison to what, Nick?
Quiet, Rusty. Because I'm thinking, because the liquid shirt, it's a little hard to tell, but it is it does have a lot of like. You know,
Yeah,
it looks like
right.
it looks like my bedroom wall when I was 4, back in the early '90s when sponging walls was in.
Sponging walls was in.
Do you remember a
Sponging
sponged
wall?
wall?
No.
I had
No?
a sponged wall.
Yeah,
You had a
me
sponge
too.
wall, yeah, for sure.
Oh,
Where did you get your sponge? How many are there? Why
Back
don't
off.
I have one?
Back off.
Is there a spare sponge? Oh, there is.
it's too.
Bryce, can you
Is it-
pass me the blue sponge?
Maybe I should use this. I'm trying to show the people my skin tone, and it
Sorry,
looks so much
sorry.
better on camera
Yeah.
than it does in real life. In real life, this is like a hot pink.
That is a.
This is a.
Yeah, no one looks like
You
that.
should
This is
definitely
a-
use that.
Yeah, right. And then on camera, at least I'm looking at the monitor. It looks a little. It looks nice.
It looks like she will
Will-
have like vacationed on the surface of the sun.
Okay.
That is
The
that's-
producer, also just told me that it actually looks hot pink on camera. So
Right.
it's just the monitor that I'm looking at. That's
Because it looks like lobster pink.
Well, it kind of looks like a blue jacket.
Yeah, it does.
Do we have more white?
Spawn, you have a really good face shape.
Thank
on
you.
Atlas.
Oh right, I thought you meant on Spawn. I was like, please,
Oh,
Rusty,
both.
come on. He doesn't need a bigger head.
No, he said I had a nice face shape, not a big head.
God, you're sick.
So all these colors have like actual names like titanium white.
They
and
do.
Sap green.
They should be
and-
named after the people we're painting. Because Bryce
Atlas
was
blue.
worried about the how to make grey.
Yeah, for her
No,
hair.
how to make
Or
silver.
Grey.
Silver.
Silver.
I
yeah.
feel because you know what I realized on the Nico painting, the frosty peaks on the hair,
Ugh.
absolutely PogChamp. People can't see me, but I just get to do that again because we can make it grey and then we can just add some little white in it to make it look like it's shining.
I feel like people talk about Pyra's nipples a lot when we talk about the Nico painting, but the Frosty Peaks were actually like, I would say, the most controversial choice
yeah.
of that whole night.
At least internally, that was a masterpiece, and it was just the greatest decision I've made on this show, to be honest. All right, I'm getting much more pink, but Frost's head is just going to be pink. It's
Show me that is just so pink.
how do I make it
More white.
yellow? No. I'm adding white, and it's going just lighter and lighter. Of course, maybe a little
Put
bit
some
of
yellow
yellow.
in. Put some yellow in.
Yellow?
What's the harm?
Okay? Whatever happens with this,
Yep.
I'm putting it on her face. Like whatever this color that is about to be made is just going on the canvas. If I can, hey Jake, can you hold my brush real quick? Actually, no, never mind.
Hey,
He's
Bryce,
busy.
can you stop annoying me while I'm trying to paint
He's
Atlas?
busy. I got it.
I love how serious
Oh!
Jake gets in all these scenarios. Did you put way too much in?
It's not. Look at it's such a.
That's a mustard brown.
Yes, it's a mustard.
You just spat everywhere.
Ah, sorry. Oh, I had a brush in my mouth. I feel like this is actually kind of better. But that worked.
What color
Is
are you
that-
going for, Bryce?
Her skin tone. We're close.
Yep.
Oh god,
we're relatively close.
it's wet.
We are on the color spectrum.
Yeah. We're just gonna go for it.
Is this black?
There we go. That's not bad. I think that's all right.
Okay, so I needed to wash my sponge, and then I forgot it was a sponge, and I didn't squeeze it out enough, and it's wet, and now it's dripping canvas, and it's mixed in with the dodgy skin color. Yeah, this is all a disaster now. I don't know what I expected though.
Do I just do a flat color all over her head? How the hair has to go on top. The hair
Typically, yes.
Thanks,
like,
genius.
yeah, but how am I gonna put some? No. I'm gonna use my technique from last time to draw over the top. So we're just doing a flat head shape.
Oh god, am I doing the
This
right?
is-
Yeah, okay, this is.
I'm
good.
just committing.
What does that mean?
a flat head shape.
Yeah.
No, like it's
Do you mean
just
like a
one
flat
color?
tone?
One color.
Yeah, one
yeah.
color just the whole way.
Well,
Well, it worked for me.
I've made her head way too wide. She has not a wide head.
Oh my
and
god.
It's just, mate. You get to do the other side. Hold
What's
judgment.
that like? Oh my god! It looks like she has a
must-
Gimli beard.
It all just no. I'm gonna add a little thingy. No. Trust. It's all in the process.
Okay.
I'm also planning to use the glitter from the absolutely failed thing yesterday that you tried to use as a cheeky little
Oh, that's
celebration.
nice.
Yeah, for the bedazzling that's going next to her eyes. For the little star. I don't know what the technical term for that is in the makeup world, but
That skin right now is reminding me of that famous Foscuran quote. No one tosses a dwarf.
You're gonna have the toss me.
This has been a real adventure. I